So welcome back. So in previous introductory lectures, we have seen the how many types of electrodes are there in the that polarizographic instrument, and how that dropping mercury electrode and all that things are working. Okay. So there we have seen in detail that auxiliary electrode, supporting electrode, how that KCl is used, and also the uh, how that dropping mercury electrode actually works, and how that electron or the current is flow in the that polarizographic technique, and what is the output of that particular technique. Okay, so there we have like getting the potential or the graph of potential and current, but there is a quite fluctuation in the potential or the observed output. Okay, so that observed output difference is due to the that drop is changing its size from the initial point to the end point. Okay, so there is a certain modification that has been done in the normal polarizography techniques. So what type of modification that has been done, that we will see in the next part. So the first technique which generally use, that is current sampled polarizography, which is also called as a task polarizography. Okay, so this is the extension of this classical polarizographic technique, which would involve the measurement of a current for the only short period of time near the end of our drop. Okay, so during the our normal polarizography, we measure the current during the whole life of that particular drop. Okay, but during this task polarizography, we'll only measure the current at the end of lifetime of each drop. Okay, so this is the important modification. So this is the important modification, that is the measurement of a current only for a short period of time at the end of lifetime of drop. Okay, so here generally the mechanical knocker is used, which will like gives you the reproducible time interval, which is usually around zero point 0.5 to 5 second, and due to this mechanical knocker, the drop will automatically falls off. Okay, at a particular time interval. So here the current is measured at particular time interval, and also the drop is also knocked by the knocker at particular time interval. So we are getting the more precise drop size, as well as less interference due to the increasing and decreasing, sudden decreasing in the current due to the drop size change. Okay, so here we can see that. Okay, here in the normal pulse polarizography or just normal polarizography, we have seen the fluctuation in the current. Okay, fluctuation in the currents likewise. Okay, so as we are going to run the polarogram, we'll get the like as the growth size of that drop is increasing, so we'll get the more increasing current, and once that drop will falls off, the current will decreases sharply, and again once new drop is going to form, we'll get the again increasing current. But in case of our task polarizography, where we are measuring the current at the end of drop, so we are getting less. Okay, we are getting very less fluctuation. So this less fluctuation is incorporated or the modified in the task polarizography. So so what do you mean by task? So because of this technique, this method is sometimes called as a task polarizography, because the task has the meaning in the German word to touch. Okay, so that mechanical knocker will touch the electrode, and that electrode mercury drop will falls at particular time interval. Okay, so the given figure will shows you the appearance of the classical as well as current sample polarogram, that is the output of the polarizographic technique. So in obtaining the latter curve, the potential was scanned at a 5 millivolt per second, and rather than recording the current continuously, will record the current. It was instead sampled for the 5 millisecond period. Okay, so the current is sampled only for the 5 millisecond before the termination of the each drop. Okay, so current is measured for only shorter period of time and not continuously. So between sampling period, the recorder was maintained at a so at least current level by means of a sample and the sample hole circuit. Okay? And the major advantage of current sample technique is that we can substantially reduce the large current or the large Faradic current due to the continuous growth and fall of the drop that is occur with the dropping mercury electrode. Okay? So these limitations that we are finding in the dropping mercury electrode polarigraphy technique that can be eliminated by using this task polarigraphic technique. Okay, so here is the how our input is or the current is measured. Okay, so the current is measured only for the shorter period of time. Okay, here only the current is measured at a shorter period of time, and due to this measurement at a particular time interval we get the reduction in the Faradic current, and at the end we can say that the fluctuation from the values is get eliminated. So the current which is obtained is nearly constant, and in this technique the current that is recorded in the current sample technique is measured at the end of drop. So this has resulted into the smooth curve which consisting of series of steps which are significantly smaller than that of the current fluctuation which we generally find in the normal polarigraphic techniques. Okay, so this fluctuation is being eliminated by using this our this task technique. Okay, the improvement in the precision and the detection limit by the current sampling alone are not okay. So the precision and the detection limit as we are expecting, like if we are eliminating this Faradic current, then we should like expecting more detection limit as well as more precision level, but the exact values which we are expecting are not that much in accordance with the expectation. So we are not getting the proper, again not that much accurate results. So we have the various techniques, like we are going to see the normal pulse technique or the current sample techniques, okay, or the stripping techniques. So further important techniques are there that will gives you the better result. And also this task technique is using that one major limitation is the mercury. Okay, so mercury will result into the hazardous nature, so that its application are quite limited, okay, nowadays. So like for example, if we consider the that detection limit for the copper, which could be lower about 3 into 10 raised to minus 6 molar for the conventional polarography, but if we use the our task polarography we can get only the limit of up to around 1 into 10 raised to minus 6. Okay, so only the 2, okay, this much difference is there. Okay, 1 to 3, so we are not getting that much big difference. Okay, we are not getting that much big difference once we have like tried to change the our current sample technique by using our task polarography. Okay, so what type of various modifications that has been done in this task polarography? So important modification is that we have measured the current at the end of lifetime. Okay, and the mechanical knocker is used so as to detach the drop from the that electron dropping mercury electrode. Okay, and what are the advantages of this technique? Like we are getting the reduction in the that Faradic current, so due to this we are going to get the like smooth curve. Like here we can see that the smooth curve is obtained, and due to this smooth curve we might get the better accuracy and precision than that of the normal polarigraphy technique. But like we are expecting large accuracy, but in practical we are just getting a small accuracy and precision over the normal polarigraphic technique. The advantages of this normal or the task polarigraphy is that that curve is smooth, and the time or current fluctuation which is encountered into the normal polarigraphy is eliminated. Okay, so these are the important application of the task polarigraphy. Okay, so here in this task polarography, we need to discuss the what is the polarography. First of all, what is polarography, then which type of electrodes are there and how that dropping mercury electrode that is going to working. Okay. And after that, we if we specifically want to selectively study the task polarography, then there we need to compare the task polarography with the normal polarographic technique and how that results are improved by using our that sample drop and the current. Okay, current output. So next, various modifications are there done in the various techniques. So we'll see that techniques one by one. Okay, after.